Yeah, I'm Madame Donut, and I own Donut Dynamite with my husband. We we live and work here on Maui. We opened our store about 7 months ago in the town of Wailuku. And so far, it's going quite well. It's been really amazing how people have come to find us, and people people keep coming in. So we keep making donuts. I was born and raised in the Philippines, and I have two other siblings. And my mom have always been quite good at figuring out what our strengths were, and I ended up in the kitchen. So I've been cooking for the family since I was about 9 or 10 years old. My mom pretty much raised and grew most everything that we ate. So I have that background, or at least that awareness of using real ingredients, whole foods, without correlating it to health and nutrition. It just was. I was used to eating and making fresh food. Many years later, when I moved to the States, I got interested in sports and exercise. So I actually majored in exercise science and forgot about cooking for a while until about one summer I had to buy a KitchenAid for a friend, and I thought I'd buy myself one too because it was really cute. I found an orange KitchenAid. It looked really good in my studio apartment, and then I thought maybe I should use it. So I borrowed my friend's book called Baking with Julia Child. I made my first croissants, and they turned out really good, and I was really inspired. So I started making more and more pastries, and then I switched my focus from exercise science to making pastry. So Frank and I met at school. He was a class ahead of me. He had already gone to the CIA in New York, so he already had his degree in culinary arts, but he decided he wanted to learn more about pastries and wine. We've been married for over 10 years. We've been together almost 13 years, and now we work together and own this business. I always loved donuts. My very first job was actually at Dunkin' Donuts when I was 15. I did not think I was going to be making donuts for the rest of my life after that. So many years later, I became a pastry chef. Somehow, I would always sneak in a donut on the pastry menu in every place that I worked at. I always thought it was fun. I always thought donuts I can speak through donuts. Like, I express myself through donuts. I think donuts are very humble, and also they're the underdog of the pastry world. We started our business selling donuts at the Maui Swap Meet, which is very down to earth, and it's not air conditioned. People are walking around in flip-flops looking for a good deal. One teenage boy actually came by, and he's like, that's interesting. He had $3 in his pocket, so he bought a donut. He walked away eating the donut. Before he could walk far enough away, he turned around and said, "That is the best donut I've ever had." I never wanted to make food that people cannot feel comfortable eating. I didn't want it to be elitist. So our workday usually starts somewhere around anywhere between 10 p.m. to midnight, depending on the day of the week. On the weekends, we obviously start as early as 10. And then my husband usually rolls the dough around 5 o'clock in the morning when we box our donuts to deliver to our accounts in the hotels and other coffee shops locally. And then we finish more donuts for the store. We open our donut shop at 7 a.m. currently. And by then, we really can't produce any more donuts. And usually, we stay open around 1 p.m. That's the goal. But oftentimes, we sell out by 10:30, then we shut down. But the work's not done, because once the store's closed, that's when I make my dough. My work day really is from about midnight to 6 or 9 p.m. My husband's been in the food industry since he was 15 years old, and I've been cooking since I was at least 9 years old. And it's, like I said, it's our vocation, it's our calling, it's our passion. We cannot even imagine a life without really good food. And again, when I say I am not an advocate for nutrition, or, I mean, we're not creating necessarily what you would call healthy food. We're creating a healthy attitude about food. I think it's so lucky that we're able to do it, because I imagine any creative person or any artist would love to create something the way I'm creating the donut and make a living off of it.